of Zagara and Nazibo, two incredibly high damage and incredible team fight heroes, and they have that little bit split push potential as well.
Yeah, I like the pick on Johanna behind this from Roccat because they take it away from Lucifron, like you've mentioned that he really likes it. Not sure if Rhaegar this early was necessary, but I guess maybe they were afraid that Liquid was going to go for Rhaegar plus Illidan.
Liquid do really like their Rhaegar, and as we know, Shadowmare almost exclusively loves his Rhaegar and just wants it every single time.
And now we're going to have the bans, so Liquid, they can basically start thinking about if they want to ban one of the assassins like Kael'thas that's still in there, for example.
I think banning an assassin would make a lot of sense, and Kael'thas is a very solid one to ban, because they still need their own warrior, they still need their support, banning either of those doesn't make sense. There is the Kael'thas.
Do they ban Illidan, Roccat here, fully knowing that Liquid might be planning on picking it?
I don't think they do, because the way they've been running it is Black Scorp is usually the one who's been playing the Nazibo.
Okay.
In their current lineups, but there's still potential for it.
As far as healers go, there's going to be quite a few ones here to pick from Liquid, so banning a healer is almost out of the question here for Roccat. Maybe Vikings, because again, Abathur was banned, and Liquid, they can play Vikings really, really well and soak well with them.
Yeah. The question is, do you feel that Liquid are comfortable running it against this kind of comp with Jaina, who is incredibly high damage? And as we spoke about before, the Vikings did suffer a recent nerf. There's the Uther ban, so they are just limiting Liquid's options in terms of support. So Liquid now have to choose between the Malfurion, who's very solid at the moment, and the Brightwing or Lili, who are both sort of making resurgences in their own little ways.
Especially if Liquid wanted to play with an Illidan here, or even still want, or are considering it, not having a Uther here for the Divine Shield is going to be a pretty big deal. Like, it limits them to very, very few healers that are going to be able to do as good.
Yep, they have no healer, and now they have a healer, the team of the Malfurion, and picking up the Tyrael as their tank. And very excited to see, basically, in the entirety of this game, with the way the drafts are going, like you said about Team Roccat taking a lot of the stuff from Team Liquid in terms of their preferred picks. Like you said, the Rhaegar, very much preferred pick. The Jaina, incredible in terms of the damage. But Team Liquid, we spoke about it earlier, Zagara and Nazibo, what they really seem to aim for, and they've done amazing things with this. And we keep talking about it. Liquid, one of the best teams in the world, and they're pretty much one of the only teams that runs this particular style. Yeah.
Do you think Roccat, they've made it very difficult for Liquid to go for something like an Illidan here? Because then you have only Malfurion as support, and
I don't think you can, quite frankly. I don't think Illidan is viable in this particular lineup at all. I would say maybe...
But then who they go for if they don't go for a melee assassin?
I'd say another ranged assassin, or maybe a second tank.
Kerrigan maybe, but very unlikely. Like, we don't really see her anymore
shield,
too much.
No Ancestral. You have no support for that melee assassin, so I just don't think it works. So I think it's going to be either another ranged or utility, like maybe Tyrande for them would be pretty helpful.
Double tank for any team? Anubarak's still open.
Yeah, Anubarak is still open, and so is Muradin.
ETC as well, yeah. Actually, like Muradin plus Tyrael at the front to engage for Team Liquid here could be one of the great options for them to go into the Jaina every single time.
Yeah, and Arthas as well. A lot of good warriors in this current patch, so it is very cool to see that. Team Roccat, they're still just thinking through their options right now. They are very much into their bonus time pool, but they have a lot of options to go through. They still need extra damage, so a ranged in terms of maybe Falstad seems to be the priority.
Maybe something crazy, Butcher, Tyrande.
Maybe, there is the potential for that. They already have their warriors, and the second healer would keep Butcher alive, and Team Liquid currently don't have too much protection for it.
Yeah. If you have a lot of faith in like your shot calling and like how you're gonna spread out the seeds and all that, you can go for something like a Tassadar, but actually they go for a Falstad here for another assassins here at Team Roccat. And now they got down to their last pick. Do they go for a second tank, a melee assassin, or a specialist? Who do you think would be a good option here? I guess stealing the Muradin might be really good if they went for it.
Yeah, the Muradin against Team Liquid would be okay, but most of the Team Liquid heroes do rely on abilities as opposed to
there is no Uther, so Butcher.
Yeah, that's true. There's no counter to it, but they don't have the Tyrande with it, so they're literally just running Butcher as their roaming melee assassin.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. It would be interesting to see, but I just don't think they'd risk it. I think if they're gonna pick a melee, it's more likely going to be Kerrigan, just for that extra stun potential.
Make a prediction. 9 seconds.
Too late. It's Tyrande.
Yeah, Tyrande. So it's going to be cool here on this map. You know, it's going to give them a lot of vision. They're going to have some good stunning capability. And when you have a Johanna at the front, you're going to be able to land a lot of Hunter's Mark, take people down very, very quickly here. That's That TRL is going to have to be on point here in this game.
Yeah, Tyrael needs to basically hit every ability on mark. Team Liquid, last pick. I would actually quite like a double tank here for them.
Yeah, against this cone.
Yeah, they have to fight through Johanna and through Falstad, and if you just ignore Johanna, if you have double tank, then you can actually get a lot of work done. And if you focus on the Falstad, keep him from getting that hinterland blast off, which Muradin with the avatar form would be incredible for, you can really get him down very quickly.
Yeah. I agree, because like going for a melee assassin here is pretty much out of the question. Like Illidan, Butcher, and Kerrigan will die instantly and not really do much supposedly. I mean, they're good enough to maybe pull it off, but most of the time, you know, going for like a Muradin here would definitely make a lot more sense.
The other option would be to just go for an extra ranged assassin, someone with a bit more burst potential, so they have some kind of wombo combo when people coming out of the Devouring Maw. Tassadar would be good, Sylvanas with that Wailing Arrow could be very good. Just catch people coming out of the Maws.
Do you like TRL as single tank?
I think he's okay, considering the only damage currently coming out of Roccat is going to be Falstad. And I think Tyrael is one, mobile enough to dodge it, and two, he's going to be way up in Falstad's face, so he's probably not going to care.
Vikings, the last pick here for Team Liquid, so Vortex.
All right. So
even though there was a respect ban early on from Roccat with the Abathur, he's going to try to pull it off here once again.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. Team Liquid said, been waiting, little hiding a little something, didn't use it in all of the tournaments coming up to this, just saving it for now. And it's going to be very interesting because, like we said, one of Vortex's usual respect bans since they got nerfed. They're not getting banned out. He's been working them in the darkness, getting ready for exactly this moment.
The audience loves it, man.
The audience do love it. They love their Vikings. Got more. They
love their Vortex more.
They do love their Vortex, exactly. So players getting ready. We will be loading into the game very shortly. And right now, looking at the drafts, I think Team Liquid have a very good chance. They've drafted a very much liquid team. This is a 100% liquid style lineup, whereas Team Roccat, also very Roccat style, but it's all going to be about how quickly they can wipe out either of those specials. The Vikings, not as important. You obviously want to take them down, but you need to take out Zagara before she gets off an important Maw. And Nazeebo is usually quite a squishy target, so a lot of teams will be trying to get him down.
It's going to be super important for Liquid not to make any mistakes, like get caught here and there, because with a Tyrande, like you can lose one of your players very quickly. And then once one hero is down and you're in a 4 versus 5 situation, then Roccat can just chase down and completely snowball. They're going to have some massive burst here to walk with Roccat. So Liquid, I feel like they're going to lack a little bit of vision, to be honest. Like, you know, the one time that they can see Roccat where they are at, especially like when the seeds come up, they're already going to be in a situation where they could be engaged into and like barely escape. So the disengaging potential might come in, you know, very important here for them. They're going to have to basically play super safe early on, I think, and then try to shine through their very good engagements and the way they deal with fights super well.
Yeah, it's going to be all about how they do take the fights, like you said. Whereas Team Liquid, they are going to be able to like spread out those Vikings, get the XP. It's more than likely going to be a longboat Vikings, as opposed to the play again, which is nice for XP and just for continuous harassment. But on this map, the longboat's just incredible and really nice when it comes to chasing down a Jaina, as it is immune to all slows and will just auto-target onto her, so it is like one of the ultimate Jaina killers.
And it's going to be cool to see those fights for the seeds here. But I love my Garden Terror, man.
Yeah, I used to hate it with a passion, because it was so long every game, and that's what got to me. I was like, okay, well, I've got Garden of Terror on ladder, I guess I'm here for the next hour, or the next 40 minutes or so.
I feel like it's not one of the maps that we've seen the most. Like I said before, like very few teams actually like, you know, play this map because it's very, very hard to play. It seems like to be very different than most other maps. And making the calls on this one in terms of, you know, small camps with seeds and all that is always very tricky. But Liquid, they've always been a very, very good team on this map. So I wouldn't be surprised if they play very solid here once again. And they actually look pretty comfortable.
They do. They look pretty chill. Grandpa, he's looking very happy in the background there. And Roccat, as almost exactly how I expected them to be after seeing them play online, all looking deadly serious. They really want this win. But ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the Garden of Terror, and spawning on the left-hand side, it is the blue team of Team Roccat. And starting off on the Johanna, it is Soke. Playing the Tyrande, it is going to be Sport Billy. Playing the Jaina, it will be Chris. the Felstad is being played by Hasuobs, and Rhaegar is being played by Shadowmare. And on the right-hand side, it is the red team, the home favorites, Team Liquid. Playing the Lost Vikings, it is Vortex. Playing the Nazibo, it's going to be Blackscorp. The Zagara being played by Falcon. Malfurion being played by Gran Paqueta. And Lucifron is playing the Tyrael. And we're getting some good cheers for Team Liquid in the background. They are really crowd favorites for this.
Look at the talent already here. Tyrande, surprisingly not going for the reduced Hunter's Mark cooldown here on level 1. So a little bit of an Owl build against a Malfurion.
It is interesting. Oh, it's Empower, not Pierce. Sentinel Impacts reduces the cooldown. So yeah, I guess it's good for Vision. Help snipe Vikings? I guess. I think she just wants to snipe Vikings for free XP, which I guess might work. For now, though, we did see Roccat all group up. Yeah, Blackscorp.
Okay, no, reinforcements are there.
Yeah, both teams waiting for an opportunity. Sport Billy runs into Lucifron as both of them just brush check. And just a little bit of harassment going either way. And we do have the Vikings all grouped up in the mid lane for the moment, so he's not going to have too much trouble, especially against just Shadowmare, who's gone for the Lightning Shield talent on level 1, which is the bonus attack damage. Throw that onto a Felstad.
We're going to find out here in a few seconds if Vortex wants to split his Vikings here in 7 seconds.
Oh, Sport Billy,
the seeds are going to be up.
Oh, Sport Billy dodges everything. Managed to dodge the root and the zombie wall. Very
Took
well
a bit
played.
of damage.
He did, but he's still alive, and that's the more important thing at the moment. And there we go. Eric heading down to the bottom lane. We're not seeing Balog head to the top lane, or Olaf head to the top lane right now. Still continue to be grouped in the mid, but there's still one more lane.
Oh, Chris, he's going to go down here on the Jaina. So Gran Paqueta and Blackscorp, they catch him. Lucifron took a lot of damage, but he pulls back on time here to go and heal. And seeds-wise, Liquid is doing better. 28 to 18 right now. They're going to get that entire top right-hand side. Already showing the decision-making here.
Yeah, playing absurdly well. And we can see Eric, he's got one of his... We have the Eric talent on level 4, which is one of 2. It's either Sabotage, or I believe it's the Run and Heal. And I assume it's the Run and Heal. We'll find out in a second once Eric has taken some damage. But that is a very interesting choice.
Actually, the score here needs to be swapped, I think.
Yeah, the team names at the top are the wrong way around, so hopefully production will be able to get that fixed very soon. We do have the Elun's Grace coming in from Malfurion, the extra range on his abilities.
I'm so surprised that Tyrande is going for an Owl build, but I guess they know that Liquid, they will be trying to avoid most small fights and skirmishes, or at least they anticipated that. And actually, so far, Liquid reacted very nicely because they went for that. I think if there was the reduced Hunter's Mark, Liquid might have been playing a little bit more passively early on because that's super, super strong for these fights. And, ooh, this is going to be contested.
Looks like they're thinking about it. Shadowmare is going to spot this. There's the root from Malfurion. Wow. Great for zoning, and that will prevent any kind of Roccat raid, and Liquid will pick up that easy camp. And as we can see, Vikings are split up. Two in the mid lane, 1 in the top, and Zagara is continuing to just be split pushing in the bot lane. So
Liquid's, their execution is just great, and the fact that they already got 42 seeds here, if they get an entire big plants on one side, they're going to get 60 from that. That's going to be 102. They're going to get the plants from the first set of seeds. So
I mean, look at the XP difference.
They're going to group up and do that, yeah. While the Vikings are soaking, they're going to go for the entire side of seeds here. It's so hard for Roccat to react appropriately here. They're going to try to come in there and maybe steal a few here with Soccer, but if he goes too far, he's going to get targeted down. That's going to be a terror here already from Liquid.
Yep, Liquid will grab the first terror. We do see Roccat.
They can even go top.
All that's left in the top lane, though, Liquid will not be able to steal any of those. So
they can go there and try and delay this or force the fight, a little bit, because they're still soaking on multiple lanes here with Vortex putting in real work while Zagara stays at the bottom.
Yep, and we're seeing Liquid putting some aggression on, like you said, in this top lane, just pressuring. Make sure that the Viking can get back to mid lane safely so they continue to be grouped up. We do have Olaf inside the Garden Terror, and he is beginning to head down mid lane.
Yeah, and there is nobody there to defend other than, I think it's Rhaegar.
That is Rhaegar.
So he's going to have a pretty tough time. He's not even on full hit points.
Yeah, in he comes. There's the seed quite far back, so Shadowmare has to... almost getting caught. Does get polymorphed. But yeah, he would have had to come out very far in order to kill that bulb, so the bulb gets almost full duration, but Hasselhoff's able to kill it off. And Vortex playing quite passively. He does have all his Vikings currently on the same hotkey, so they are moving together. Going in onto Hasselhoff's there, but not overly committing. He could be a bit more aggressive with this Terror, I think. He's got more health than he has duration at the moment.
That wall is going to go down very quickly here, and that's going to be even more experience here for Liquid, who are going to be a full level ahead with level 9 against level 8, already doing really well early on in this game at top. They're still pushing really, really quickly here as well with Nazeebo, Tyrell, and Malfurion. And Zagara at the bottom, she's been definitely holding her ground as well against the Soke.
In comes Vortex trying to get the kill, but it is Johanna. She just tanks it all. She doesn't do too much damage, so she's going to take a while.
They're going to get 10. They're going to get 10 with this here. The second wall going down.
Second plant terror pops as
and
well.
top actually thought they might engage with the Tyrell.
I think they might, but right now we can see Roccat playing very far back. They're not wanting to engage while the Team Liquid is level 10. And there is the level 10s. There is the Longboat Raid, Gargantuan devouring more, Tranquility, and the Judgment. Aswab's coming down to the bot lane to help clear, but that does leave the top lane very undefended. And Liquid will punish this. They will push in and grab the first fort of the game. Roccat not even trying to defend this.
Yeah. It's very important that both teams have cleans, by the way, especially here for Liquid against the Tyrande. Like, you're going to need that.
Yeah, you're going to be in serious trouble if you don't. Tyrande does have the Mule on her level 7 talent, just for that little bit of sustain, considering there's a lot of split push coming out from Team Liquid. Throwing that Mule down prevents the huge advantage you get from it.
Level 9 against 11 here, Rockats.
Oh,
actually, that game's going to be stolen.
The Vikings do get popped out of the longboat, but they will, like you said, grab the camp. There's the Judgment onto Johanna. She is tanking it all. Nice stun by Tyrande. Into most of Liquid, they will not be able to chase anyone down, but
still
they
no
are
level
still
10.
stealing the camps.
Still no level 10 here for Roccat, so that's going to be another camp here stolen by Team Liquid, and they're going to be level 12 against level 10 in a second.
Yeah, they're almost going to have their level. They're going to have their level 13 talents by the time this next team fight happens, if Team Liquid play it right. But right now, they're very far forward, almost trying to bait Roccat into a fight, which Team Liquid could still probably take, but they do have a couple heroics down.
Yeah, Hinterland Blast, no surprise here.
Yeah, all the heroics are exactly as we expected. That Owl getting some good vision. And there's one thing you need to keep an eye on for Liquid, it's exactly where the team is, so you don't make the mistake of getting caught out by them. So I guess
it's so funny, like on paper you'd think that Roccat would be the one going for fights, but Liquid has been so dominant from the start and always been taking the right decisions that
Vortex
most
being
of the
dropped
time.
low. There's the stun onto Baylog, and he will go down, but that is still only a quarter of a hero kill. And it's currently the only kill.
They're going down. They're going down for the fight.
They're coming down. They want to contest this. And Roccat, they do now see it. Luthifron coming into the front, not engaging with his Judgment. Wants to just get
Shadowmare is taking a lot of damage.
The Ancestral healings himself, but that is the only protection his team did have. Nice stuff. Well, Hinterland Blast catches a lot of members of Liquid. They're pushing it, trying to catch Sportsbilly. There's the Judgment, and Sportsbilly goes down. Soke is the next target. He's being chased down. Does get rooted. The Viking Lookman at the back. It does get killed off. And Hasselhoff's trying to take it down. Johanna went down in the side as well. And that's 2-0 for Liquid.
Yeah, and at this point, with having all of their heroes up, they can just keep on chasing Roccat wherever they go. They can try to get all of the seeds on both sides, in which case they're going to secure another Terror and get quite a few more seeds. But Roccat, they already secured their own. It's actually 30 seconds out here, so they need to make sure they don't let that expire here. And they use it. It's going to be Sportsbilly actually picking it up.
Yep, and I think that is fine. Just that huge bit of extra healing is not sorry, the little bit of extra healing.
Chris.
Yeah, that was
what are you doing, man?
Little bit ambitious. Hasselhoff was
he went really far with this one.
He wanted it bad, but Hasselhoff was in the maw. He had no backup, and he did go down.
Jaina is a good hero, but there are limits.
Yeah, very much so. So having a look at some of the other talents, Vikings have taken the jump talent, which basically makes them immune for, I think, 7.75 seconds, I believe it is. I cannot remember. But now, though, Sportsbilly just going to be pushing in with this Terror. And Liquid already prepared to defend this. Luthifron just tanking up the Terror and killing off the bulb at the same time.
It is, you are right.
All right.
They're going to defend that here. With ease so far, Liquid 2 levels ahead with their own Terror that's going to last about... It's actually, oh my god, that's 40 plus seconds extra than Rockats.
Yeah,
they can transform that into a level 16 against, say, even like 12 or 13. Well, okay, not 12, probably 13.
Yeah.
They'd be one talent up still.
Going very aggressive onto Hasselhoff's here. He doesn't have anyone to back him up if this engage did happen. But now, Sportsbilly coming in from the back as well, and that's forcing the rest of Liquid to reposition themselves. Lucifron keeping the front line.
And a drop on
Terror is completely separated from the rest of Roccat.
Yeah, 10 seconds here on Rockat's there. They need to be careful because he spawns Billy with the tier on the inside. Can't be too far out when that happens.
Yeah,
level 15 against 12, very close to 13.
Yeah, they need level 13. They didn't get 13 before this Terra pop, so Liquid going very aggressive. Yeah, and they're going to be able to, once again, continue to push in. Polymorph landed on Johanna, but she's, once again, one of the tankiest people in the game, able to tank it up. And Liquid, they're just making as much aggression of this as they can, just throwing in bulbs every couple seconds. Soccer going quite aggressive onto Lucifron here. Doesn't look like he wants to really go for the full engagement, but at least force Liquid to back up a bit.
Yeah, Vortex definitely was super patient here with the Terror. He wants to drop as many pods as possible. He's probably going to get in with one more, even cover it here.
Yeah, nice polymorph as well, catching the Falstad.
It's the 10th minute mark, and they're already at the keep here.
Yep, Starfall is going to be what kills off that Plant Terror finally, but it is still level 16 to level 30.
They can steal the camps. Like, there is no way you can go fight with 13 against 16. So I think Liquid is just going to group up around here, steal those camps, and basically say, we're going to take these camps in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Vikings with 18,000 experience. That is literally more than double anyone else in the game.
That's almost
amazing.
triple than the first one here on Roccat, which is Johanna.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and that is what is keeping Liquid so far ahead at the moment, and the fact that they've only given up a single Viking for this entire game so far.
The decision-making on Liquid is just insane. They stole both camps in front of Rockat's side of the map. Now they get all the 3 camps on their side of the map, and behind this you can expect the seeds. They're going to be coming back up, and then they're going to be fighting for that. If they're still one talent up, I mean, Roccat, they're just going to be in so much trouble. They can't fight. It's just so hard to fight when you're one talent down.
It very much is. And there was one thing that we saw a bit that was quite interesting there. And that is that currently Tyrande has the most damage on the side of Roccat. That just shows how incredible Liquid's focus has been. They have just been going in for the Jainers and stuff like that, and the Falstads, and keeping them from dealing their main damage. And the only reason Tyrande is ahead is because she's just been throwing out an owl every couple seconds and just getting bits of damage from that.
Jaina and Falstad damage actually incredibly low. It's 7 and 6K.
Was there a reason for that Starfall there? Apparently not.
It felt like it, because he could. And okay, the seeds are up. Liquid, I think they're going to be going for the fight here, being one talent up. Level almost 18 against just 15.
Here
they're going to catch them.
They have a very good angle. Shadowmare's a bit caught out here. Chris and Soke already backing up. There's Shadowmare cleansed out instantly by Shadowmare. He is in full retreat though. Zombie will get him though.
Wow.
And he is being focused down. He's still got out. The best shield comes in from Soke and stuns up most of Liquid, allowing Shadowmare to back away.
He gets out, but now Liquid, they can just get all the seeds at the top here and then rejoin the bottom side of the map, fight for more seeds. It's going to be impossible for Roccat to get that level 16 before the next fight happens, I think, if they're going to be fighting for seeds. So Liquid using their lead very, very nicely here. And I mean, as patient as you can be here as Roccat, this is just snowballing out of control here in Liquid's favor. Look, they're going to gather at bottom. Closing in on level 16 nicely here, but I mean, they need to be fighting for the seeds.
Yeah, Roccat are all here. Falstad was a bit in Liquid territory, but he was able to be and now fly back to help his team. And Liquid looking for the fight before the seeds.
Oh my God.
very out of position. He gets seen by the Infested Drop, but there's no Judgment up yet. It'll be up very soon, but that does mean they are a little bit safer. We have the giant owl.
Yeah, actually, Liquid's going to be even more patient. Look at this. They're waiting for the Terror to get out there here before they fight. But 79 seeds. If Roccat could get enough here for another Terror, they can just pull back. And it would have been worth it. Shadowmare taking a lot of damage.
Hinterland Blast onto the Zagara in the background, but now Roccat are in full retreat. There's the focus on Shadowmare, and he goes down. Chris getting dropped in the background as well. Falcon gets killed by the Owl, but now we're seeing the rest of Roccat in full retreat. And Liquid able to pick off Sports Billy. It is Hasselhoff and Soke left, and not going to get a well.
Yeah, Soke's going to go down as well. It's just Hazuops left. What can you do? It's just a single Falstad. Liquid once again with a super convincing fight.
They're just pushing in as much as they can now. They have an open key. The bulb will get taken down, but the Terror can easily tank it. 19 seconds for the Jaina to be alive, 15 for the Rhaegar. And they're just pushing in with this, and they can probably end this. The Terror is about to go down. Hasselhoff's having to dance backwards to make sure he doesn't get killed off. We're going to be seeing members of Roccat coming back very soon. And it looks like Liquid do not want to risk it. They're not going to throw a game just for greed.
Yeah, this is a good read too. Like, they're just so far ahead on experience that if they lost a big fight here, Roccat, I think, would close in very dangerously. There's still a lot of seeds available. There's still camps, so they're just going to pull back. Black Scope's actually really low.
Yeah, so is Eric there, Balog there for Vortex.
Whoa, Black Scorp's isolated.
Oh, he's taking a bit of blizzard damage, but it's able to step back. The Terror, though, is still on Liquid, though. We're probably going to lose the Viking. How is he alive from that? But we do see a Viking go down, so that's a little bit of separation there.
He got cleansed,
Liquid still want to fight this by the looks of it. Soke going very aggressive against the Blessed Shield. There's the stun onto Tyrael. Tyrael does survive, though. Another Viking went down, but there's more is on a lot of members. Ancestral is not enough. Hinterland Blast drops on most of Liquid, though. That's a huge amount of damage. Soccer being dropped so low by the Longbow Raid, but the Starfall is great. There's the Judgment onto Hasselhorbs, but he is able to disengage. And Liquid, all so low in this fight, are still able to drive Roccat back, but Rockats get enough seeds for a Terror.
Chris getting chased down, probably gonna go down here in a second. Liquid, it looked like for a second it was gonna be very worrying, and they might be in trouble, but I guess they pulled back far enough that they could actually turn around and take a decent fight. And then from there, they take down Rhaegar and Jaina as well. Once again, they're this close to getting level 20, which is going to be huge here in the next fight.
Yeah, and once again, the only person to go down for Liquid in that fight was the Vikings. A couple Vikings died here and they're a quarter of a kill as opposed to the 2 kills got by Liquid in that fight.
The thing is, they have already taken down quite a few forts and a keep as well. They've lost 0 forts. So Liquid, even say, for example, they were to take a really horrible fight right now and they all died, you can't even exploit that lead and finish the game for Roccat because you need to go through so many forts and keeps anyway. So they're just in such a comfortable situation here right now. Like the next fight with 20 against 18, even though there's going to be a Terror and Roccat side, I don't think Liquid even cares. They can just use Judgment against somebody and take them down very quickly. They have triple Bolt of the Storm that they can use as well. Yeah, that Longbow Raid's going to be pretty mid on 20 as well.
Yeah, they're looking in a very comfortable position. Right now, Terror is leaving that base very undefended, and Liquid moving down to the bot lane. They found a Hasselhorbs. Is he going to get out in time? And he doesn't get spotted.
Hasselhorbs a ninja, man.
Ninja.
He used to play Undead in Warcraft 3. He knows all about those flying units that get away, aka gargoyles. This time he's with a Falstad.
Yeah, and he did a very good job of escaping in that sense. But now, Liquid just chasing down this Terror wherever it may be, just stopping it from getting any worth. It has like almost max health and hasn't managed to get anything out of this.
Yeah, Liquid, you can tell like they want to fight, but at the same time they're just gonna rush in there too fast that they take a really, really bad fight. They're pretty happy with letting the Terror expire and then actually try and force a fight.
Yeah, and it's going to be much more beneficial for them if they do wait this. There's an assist ping from someone. Looks like the Vikings.
It's going to be super tough to get 20 for Roccat before the fight actually happens or even the Terror ends.
Well, they're getting it. They're making their way there. The Terror is helping with that as it clears minions super quick. And Hasselhorbs stealth soaking the bot lane just to help his team get level 20. If he reveals, then, well, that's where Liquid are going to go. He does reveal now. Just wants that XP, needs to get his team to level 20. But Liquid going very aggressive in this top lane, push the Terror all the way back to his own base.
That's when you know you're in trouble, when you have to play this defensive here with the Terror. Liquid still doing fantastic. They're closing in on level 21, but again, Roccat, they have to be patient. They can't fight without level 20. And they're going to get it real soon. Falstad pushed pretty far here at the bottom, but he's going to have to portal back home here soon if he wants to be able to defend with his team. But the seeds are coming up 20 seconds away, and we might have a very big fight that's going to be the very important one here in a second. Roccat looking to finally turn things around. They've caught up in the talents here, and only 1 level behind, which, believe it or not, is a good thing, because there were 3 levels behind here once in this game.
Yeah, they've managed to catch up massively well because the Vikings are now grouped together. Yeah, he's a bit out of position again, but it is nighttime. He was not spotted, and he's just going to roll his way in. Owl spotted a couple members of Liquid
with fire.
He is. He's going to fly over Liquid here to go help his team. So Liquid will be like, what was that? As he flies past. But Liquid going to get all of this bottom Terror. Roccat, though, going to get all of the top Terror. Neither of these teams really willing to take a huge fight with each other yet.
Playing it safe, getting seeds before. Both of them, I think, will secure a Terror here, which are going to be pretty happy about because they can fight with it. And Liquid's looking to try and get a good engagement here. Remember, they're ahead in level still.
Good Owl. The Owl gets vision. It's been working out very well for them. And, like you said, Liquid looking for a good angle. But now, nice stun from the Blessed Shield, and down goes the Malfurion. Nice devouring more, though, for the counter. Liquid going to just re-angle themselves here and get a better angle. But they lost Malfurion straight away, just disengage.
This is very uncharacteristic of Liquid to make this kind of mistake here. Grand Paquete out of position for just 1 second, gets caught and killed. And behind this, look at how much they've closed it in terms of experience. Roccat. They're going to have both teams here are going to be with a Terror.
Yeah, they're both just rushing for it at the moment. XP still 24k on the Vikings.
They finally got one fall down at the bottom, so if they can get another one down here with the Terror, or even two, they really will be back in this.
Yeah, both teams.
It's going to be 21 against 21. Roccat through their patience and hard work here.
Yeah, the slow, methodical style of Roccat that they always seem to run is really working out for them here, just waiting for their moment despite being so far behind for so long. But they're now at the point where they might be able to take a fight in their favor, and if they can, that's going to be the moment. But they still have to push through bot lane if they do this, so they don't want to take any kind of fight in top lane.
Yeah. Liquid, this is not ideal here. They have to wait for their support to come back. He's going to respawn now here, the Malfurion, and try and rejoin them ASAP.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about earlier, the defensive plant terror used by bodies. He's actually going to run down to bot lane just to chase Hasuops away, because Hasu is still just being annoying, helping out in that bot lane, getting the XP.
Drop a pod. I think they want to get, he wanted to get rid of those knights here. Soccer needs to be killed, oh my god.
Yeah, he is still fine for the moment, but Sportbilly is running out of health on that plant terror, so he is going to pop out first at this point.
Liquid have been doing a very good job of poking, by the way, and whenever somebody goes down, say, to like half hit points, then TL goes in and they take him down instantly. They've been doing a very good job of that, but in the previous fight, or at least when they kind of met, you know, around the top side of the map, it was Grand Paquete who got caught. He cannot let that happen again here.
Yeah, Hasuops beat back to base and is now with his team, ready for a fight if one were to happen.
They're going to be the aggressive ones.
All grouping top. Yeah, they have no minion wave. The minion wave is completely held back, but it's just going to throw bulbs in because this heat is exposed. They're just going to try and go a bit aggressive with it, but they're not going to overcommit.
Actually, the terror of Roccat is going to end earlier here. Sportsbilly, oh, he's pretty far out.
Oh, he doesn't get polymorph. There's the Storm Shield, and that will keep him alive. Looks like we may see a fight. Bless Shield comes down. Hinterland Blast doesn't really hit anyone other than Luthifron, who's able to tank it up. And Liquid beginning to push forward here very slowly, but they are pushing. The Starfall really nice for the side of Roccat. It does zone them out a little bit. And no one going out. Soccer is being dropped quite low. The Vortex comes in with the Terror. Terror has now expired. The Devouring Maw hits no one. Soccer has invulnerable though. He will survive. But the Longboat Raid chasing in. They're trying to cut out anybody. Hasuops still alive though. And the Longboat is trying to kill off Soccer in the background. Hasuops drops though. Gets healed by Rhaegar. And he will go down finally. And Liquid able to get one kill and a keep out of that.
Liquid are just so good in these fights. Lucifron always saves his judgment up until he knows that it's going to be really good to use it. This time didn't quite get the kill immediately, but they did end up finally taking down the Falstad. And look at this, 47 seconds timer on the Falstad. It's a 5 versus 4 for this long. And the seeds come up at this time, so Liquid are going to spread out. They're going to do the top seeds, the small ones and the bottom ones at the same time. Then they're going to group up and try and get a good fight here, possibly if they want to. It's only the Vikings right now at top. And remember, Falstad is still missing.
Yeah, it looks like they're preparing to group up though. Roccat going very aggressive into this bottom area, trying to get back that plant terror. And Liquid, they are down a lot of heroics right now, which is why they are playing in a situation where they're looking like they don't want to fight despite having a numbers advantage. And
also you're always happy about getting all the small ones and then one of the big ones, because it means you've got way more than your opponents.
Yep, in come Roccat though. They
know they can't let that happen.
They have to do something, but they are still faster down. He will be up in 4 seconds.
He's going to fly in too.
Yeah, he's 100% going to fly in. He kind of has to, but Liquid, once again, they're just like, nah, we don't want it, and they're just going to leave it to Roccat. But that does mean there are now enough seats on the map for Roccat to pick up a terror, so they have to come down and fight this.
Yeah, Zagar was a bit far behind here for a second, but did make it out. These Owls doing so much damage here pre-fight.
Yeah, nice zombie ball, actually blocking out most of Roccat.
Oh, they're coming in from two sides here.
This is going to be very interesting fight angle for Liquid. They're pulling back into their lane to get the angle, and stun does not land from Tyrande, and Liquid are just waiting for someone to make a mistake. Hasuops is over the wall now. He would be the target. He gets the stun. Nice bolt from Nazibo, keeps him alive. Longboat Raid coming out doing a lot of damage. There's the stun onto Rhaegar, trying to burst him down. Ancestral keeps him alive, and Soccer is getting dropped down. Longboat kills him off, and they're continuing to push forward. Starfall kills off the Longboat Raid, but they will continue. The chase. Blackscorp, though, is so low, and Hasuops comes in with the lightning rod to try and do the damage for this. And he's being dropped low, though. Luthifron not giving up. There's the heal from Rhaegar, trying to keep him alive. They've managed to survive in so many situations where they shouldn't have.
Yeah, Liquid's not going to stop. They're going to chase them down the hallway.
They're going to continue to push this. Chris is the next target, and they might actually get this. They may push in for the win here. That's 3 dead. And they want the kill, though. They're being greedy. Chris bolting onto Falcon, though, and kills him off. He's getting to get focused down, though. Zombie Wall slows down Liquid for a bit, but from his own team.
I can't believe this is going to work. I can't believe he actually went in, got a snipe, and then got out. This was massive here. This is going to buy them quite a bit of time, but Liquid is still going for the win with the Terror.
Vortic snuck a Terror in the background, and they're going to push it, and that is GG! And Liquid take game number 1 of this series. Super well played by them. Wow, what a series. And we're only 1 game into it.
One thing I've learned here in this map is that Chris is pretty fearless and too much for his own good, I think.
Well, he got the kill and got out.
Yeah,
it
didn't matter here at the end, but the thing is, the few ones before that where he chased too far out really didn't help his team, you know, in keeping up with the levels. And in the end, even though Roccat, they played a very patient game and they came back in levels, Liquid's fighting capability, every single time when those chases were happening, they're always disengaging enough that, you know, they're going to keep each other alive and, I guess, just really hang in there up until the point they turn around and really change things up and, you know, do a lot of damage. Their focus fire is always excellent, and in the end, they just seem to be too solid at fighting for them to be able to really lose to anybody.
Yeah, they played incredibly, like the entire early game. Like you said, Roccat played a patient game, but if they'd made any kind of mistake in that entire time, then Liquid would have probably just won. Because it was a situation where Liquid were just playing with such dominance the entire game because of that Viking. So like you said, they had like a 3-level lead at one point, where they were just so far ahead, and Roccat were just like, yeah, we're just going to wait. And eventually were able to get to that level 20 where they're able to take a
Liquid make it look so easy. Like every time, you know, like the fighting is perfect, and then the one time they make a mistake, even that they make look easy after it, you know, their crisis management, because Malfurion got sniped, there were 4 against 5, they're like, we're just gonna pull back. We're just gonna pull back and wait, make sure we're safe until Malfurion is back. They wait until Malfurion's back, and then they get right back to business, start taking good fights once again. And Roccat, even though, you know, that was a good effort in the end, not quite enough here to beat Team Liquid in map number 1.
Yeah, but if they do actually play as well as they just did in the coming up matches, then maybe if they can, what is the next map? Do you remember?
It was Cursed, right?
It was Cursed, which could be a potential another Viking map. So we may see another respect ban for that. Just because of the amount of XP that it did gain that early game, and Cursed, the games usually end a little bit quicker, which would be around when Liquid have their peak of terms of level advantage.
Maybe a special comp as well. You talked about how some of these teams, you know, they prepare special stuff.
Maybe, but we just saw Liquids bringing in the Lost Vikings on that huge map.
Well, I mean, Lost Vikings is not really special anymore, is it? Especially on Garden Terror. Like, it's been around for some time. I mean, something really special.
Really special. What would you count as really special?
Stitches.
Fair enough. I would quite like to see it, but
yeah, I don't think we're going to see Stitches. But
I think
who
we
knows?
would if it was like
dream.
a Kael'thas and something like that. Just if you had already a tank run him as a second tank as a pick guy.
A really good Butcher comp that's well drafted and not countered from the start. That'd be interesting to see, I think.
I agree.
It's like the new hero.
Very excited to see that.
I personally haven't seen him like in dozens of games yet, just in a few ones, so...
Yeah, that was my first time seeing him in a proper tournament. Oh, wait, no, I've seen him once before in a proper tournament, but this is the second time and it just wasn't really effective, and I would love to see it more, because it's a cool hero.
Every new heroes that come out, like, it's also always funny to see how they integrate the meta, because like teams, every time a hero comes out, obviously they're going to be trying it, like whoever's playing that role.
Yeah.
You know, like, so the Butcher, you know, either melee assassins or flex, they're going to be like the one player on each team practicing it for some time, and they try to kind of figure out where it fits in the meta and whether it's good enough or not to be used. And most of the time, the answer is always going to be yes, but not necessarily very quickly. I remember, like, there was quite a few heroes that came out and people were like, not gonna... The Vikings, like when they came out, people took such a long time to finally start using them a lot.
Asmodan, as well, was almost never picked when he was released. Murky is still not picked.
Well, Asmodan is not picked that much, though.
Yeah, but he still has his place in the meta now, which is a thing that it took Vikings, like you said.
Yeah, the Vikings is the most extreme example. Like, he wasn't picked for such a long time, and then he became basically one of the best heroes that you could go for, and that almost any team's ready to play.
I think it was Vortic's first, actually, who ran it in the tournament. It was back way before they were Team Liquid.
Yeah. Gamers too as well added it to their repertoire. Most teams, I think most teams, they have at least one guy that can play Vikings.
Yeah.
Not everybody has like a very good abathur though.
This is true. This is very true. And there's a load of people who can like only play Symbiote Abathur. And like, or can only play Backdoor Abathur in that way. which is very interesting as well, and have trouble with Symbiote Abathur.
Which kind of Abathur are you?
What kind of Abathur are you? I like both, quite frankly. I play Symbiote more because it's more relevant.
Okay. I should really stop asking you these questions. Like, you never give me like the edgy answer I'm hoping for.
What would you prefer? I'm a Symbiote guy?
Yeah.
Not a sorry, not a, would you prefer I'm a Locust guy?
Any. You need to pick one. That's the thing.
I was Symbiote.
Okay. All right, Cursed Hollow going to be our next map here between these two. A map on which both teams have a lot of experience. I actually remember quite a while ago when they were still on Well Met, I got a show match set up between, I think it was My Insanity back then, and Well Met.
Yeah.
And they were telling me that Curse was their favorite map by far. They thought that, you know, skill really spoke on this map. It was the one where you could really make a difference if you think you're the best team. Now is the map they're going to be playing on against Team Liquid. Do they think that they're the best team? Well, I guess they at least think it's one of their better maps. So it's going to be interesting to see how well they can develop against a team that, I mean, Liquid, even when they are behind, this is what's crazy. Like, playing well when you're ahead is definitely easier than being able to recover from situations where you're behind. But Team Liquid, they've proved in the past, in that last DreamHack Summer in particular, when they were playing against Gamers 2 on Cursed Hollow, that even when they're behind and it looks like it's not going well for them, they have the moves to bring it back.
Yeah, I would 100% agree, and this is the map that they would 100% be doing it on. If they can get a good draft in their favor as well, they can't let Liquid get any of those really incredible pick heroes like an Abathur they may have to ban. They will probably, I'd say, if they ban Lost Vikings at all, it will be a tier 2 ban.
Yeah. That was a pretty clean game, by the way, by Falcon that we just saw on screen. The last one, he was on the Zagara. Not super flashy Moss, but definitely did the job.
Yeah, he did damage, and that's all he needed to do. He just did what Zagara does.
Vortex's Vikings were pretty clean, as always.
Yeah, always solid with those Vikings. He was the only person to die for the longest time, and that was just individual Vikings getting picked off, which
doesn't really matter. Yeah.
It's very hard to prevent that.
There was one time where he used the longboat raid at bottom, and I didn't really like that, but in the end,
was that the one where he came from above and was completely separated from his team and just got killed off almost instantly?
Yeah, and then like, well, I mean, in the end, like, he didn't die, and Roccat escaped, so it wasn't the biggest of deals, but still, like, if you're gonna use longboat raid, you might as well be 3 around.
Yep, I would agree. For now, though, we are just starting the draft. It's going to be Roccat with the first ban, and I would not be surprised to see the Abathur ban again. This is another map that Abathur can do very well on.
Yeah, gonna be interesting. They always take a very long time, Roccat, you know? Like, Soccer, he has like this reputation of taking a very long time to veto maps in StarCraft. And then he kind of carried that on to Heroes of the Storm here, where like, since he's like one of the main guys drafting, I think for a pretty long time he was the guy that was drafting for them when they were on Well Met before joining Roccat. He definitely brings that tempo down to like the last few seconds every time.
Yeah, very much so. And there's the fact that the entirety of Roccat, like you said, they brought it. Hasrobs as well, another player who will just make us wait before a game starts. They have nowhere to run this time, though. They have to just be ready to play once the draft has finished. They are, like you said, though, taking that bonus time pool all the way down while they think about their first ban.
Is it normal? Or maybe they're going to start over with the draft, because this look, usually for the first ban, you don't wait until you have no time pool left. Like,
maybe.
It's definitely not convenient.
Maybe they're just really indecisive about whether it's going to be
I don't think so.
Abathur or Vikings or something like that. Or Zeratul.
I think, like Roccat, there was a few situations in the previous map where they made the most of the situation, but generally speaking, they had a decent performance, except maybe like for Chris, who at times like really overextended. So they're gonna have to be careful not to let that happen, especially against a team like Team Liquid, where if you start falling behind and they get one talent up or even like half a level up, you're already gonna be kind of in trouble, just because they use these leads so well every single time with their good shot calling.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to restart the draft quickly. We did see Roccat go all the way down there. So we're just going to reset that. And we'll get you guys in as soon as we have it. But, yeah. we keep talking about how these teams stack up to each other in terms of their previous pedigree as opposed to like StarCraft players. Both of these teams bringing in a lot of experience for that. But we should talk about like some of their previous endeavors. Like we said, how Liquid, they are the champions, and they have been the champions for quite a while. Like since before they were Liquid, they were considered the best team in Europe for the longest time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, though, Roccat, they creeped in as well, man, and they used to be considered probably like the best or second best team at the time in the world, like when they first came around. And like you said, they had those roster changes and suddenly started doing even better. And they very much deserve their spot here and be very interested to see. We're going to get back into the draft. Both teams are ready.
They qualified through a pretty tough qualifier here to make it here, Roccat, so...
Yeah, they really did. There was a lot of good competition in that.
Definitely one of the teams on the rise that's also here to stay. Like I'm pretty sure they're not going to, disband anytime soon, so you're going to see more of them in the future, but I'm pretty sure that here right now at DreamHack Valencia, they'd love to put on a good results, put on a good show. But so far, it's really been Liquid that did shine a lot in map number 1, Garden of Terror.
Yeah, Roccat played the late game very well, but Liquid, like you said, their team fighting potential and just their team fight skill is just so good compared to the other teams. There's the first ban, Jaina.
Yeah, no surprise, I mean.
Yeah, she's considered to be one of the best assassins. Liquid almost instantly responding with the Zeratul ban, not wasting any time.
Yeah, because Roccat has first pick, so maybe they want them to steal it, because I'm pretty sure they'd be very happy with picking Zeratul themselves.
Yeah, I would agree, but they just don't want them to have it. And Roccat, first pick for them, they have plenty of options. We already know that they put a little bit of priority on their healer, usually in the second round of picks. It's when we will see that come out, but we have seen it first pick for them quite a few times.
Yeah.
I had to guess a warrior first. I say Johanna would be first pick for them.
Vikings, if they were to steal it?
Abathur. They don't want to have to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it with Team Liquid. So if Team Liquid want to go for that kind of composition with a specialist, then they are basically locked onto the Lost Vikings again.
I like the Abathur pick because we talked about how, Zeratul is like one of the guys that can hunt down Abathur and really like keeping back behind a second wall or even snipe him at times, really keep him on his toes. And since Zeratul was already banned, then there is really not going to be any real threat of being tracked down and killed here for the Abathur. So on this map, we saw it do pretty well earlier. Yeah. And once again here, looking forward to do so, I'm sure, Roccat. What do they go into here, Liquid? Do they start taking the assassins, fully knowing that Jaina was already banned in Zeratul?
Maybe, if we go for their usual stuff, Zagara, and the second one should be Nazibo, if we're going for their usual order of picks from this recent patch. But after that is when it starts to get a bit more interesting. Last time, Tyrael, as the solo tank, worked out in their favor. Didn't really get any game-changing judgments, but there was a lot of good focus coming out of it. I
really like Allstars on this map. Like from level 16 onwards, you can do so much damage from afar, like being pretty far away from the danger. And you're going to be fighting a lot for the tributes and all that. You can zone out, buy some time from afar as well. So it'll be interesting to see if it's picked at all. Allstars not being shown enough love, in my opinion.
He's been banned twice, I think, and not picked once yet in this tournament. So it'll be interesting to see if he does manage to sneak his way in to this one. But Team Liquid taking a long time with their second pick, even though, like I said, their usual order would be Nazibo here. And there's the Rhaegar, but taking that away from Team Roccat.
Yeah, a little bit of, I guess, counter pick, so to speak. Yeah, Rockats, they can be really happy about this, but at the same time, it's not like the end of the world, not like the world fell apart. They still got quite a few supports here to pick from. Uther, obviously really good. Imagine they went Uther Illidan here. That'd be pretty sick.
That would be pretty sick, like just immediately set up the combo, no ifs and or buts about it. No joking around, and they could. This is a map that it could do very well on. You could even pick Uther Butcher here and just hope to get knocked.
Liquid were probably thinking about whether they should pick Illidan a second instead of Rhaegar, because there was already the Abathur. They're actually going to go for Johanna, not wanting to leave that to Lucifron.
Yep, and that's fair enough. They did run Johanna last time as well, and it went pretty well for them. Those blessed shields were basically the source of all of their kills that entire game. So, one they are pretty comfortable with. And they do need some damage, or they do need a healer. Liquid has potential of banning out two more another healer here, which would limit Roccat. So
what do you think? Uther, Illidan, Kaltas?
I think Malf. Just going with that instead, not even going to bother with Uther. So
I think so. So with this Malf pick, they're basically saying if you pick the Vikings, as much as you're going to be able to soak, we already have a lot of healing, so that longboat raid not going to be able to do much.
Yeah, there is the issue with this though that Malfurion won't have the same kind of healing potential onto an Illidan that a Uther will with his Divine Shield and just more burst healing as opposed to Malfurion's ticking over time healing.
Actually, in Sweden at DreamHack Summer, we saw a lot of double healer comps being played by Liquid.
Yeah, this is true.
Also, so taking away Malf here kind of, ensures that Liquid's not going to be trying to, do some insane meta pick here with the Malf. And now, with the bans, this is really going to narrow down what they can go for as last few heroes here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Kael'thas ban from one or maybe both of these teams. One of them also may ban out the Illidan because both teams still do have the potential to run it. There's the Kael'thas ban from Liquid. And Roccat, Viking ban maybe? Or an Illidan ban, either one, unless they want the Illidan for themselves.
Viking would make a lot of sense. And they would have taken away the two main guys that Vortex is going to be really scary on.
Yeah, this is true. Just denied a loss for. They would have denied the loss from like pure split gaining XP, and would have put it more into the fight potential, which, to be fair, Liquid are also very, very good at.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I think Lost Vikings is the ban. If I'm wrong,
yeah, it would make sense.
Then I think. It would
Who are we going to see as assassins, though?
There it is.
Yeah, it is the Vikings. Sylvanas still available here. It's actually Sylvanas against Envala, the main two, likely to be picked, unless Liquid, they want to go for their Nazibo here once again, which did well. They go for the Illidan themselves. And the Nubarak.
Very, very nice here. And they still do need a ranged assassin for themselves. And Roccat also yet to pick their ranged assassins, so we'll likely start seeing them make their way in. But Roccat need some more counter for Illidan, because they already have the Johanna, and they already have Abathur, so they need someone for that to work with. Johanna on her own, I don't think would do enough, so we may just see split push Abathur.
I don't think that we're going to see the Nova once again.
I don't think so, no. It would be amazing, but I don't think we will. Yep, Sylvanas still available. Wouldn't be too surprised to see Roccat pick her up, especially seeing as Jaina and Kael'thas are banned out, so we're not seeing any of those mages. So there's going to be a lot more in-your-face fighting, and the Withering Fire is pretty nice at trying to take down Illidan. Not the best, but if you can keep him still with Johanna and Malfurion, you might have enough to burst him down. That or Falstad, those are the ones who've been seeing the most over these few games.
Yeah, what do you think about Falstad? Like, kind of coming back in the meta and being like a lot more popular?
I quite like it, especially seeing as there's even more people running it auto-attack as well as mage, so he's more viable in both of those senses, which is very cool. One of the few heroes that can be played as both equally as effectively. A lot of people preferring the ability base, though.
Yeah. Any chance either team runs a double warrior comp?
This game, no for Roccat, because they have an Abathur already. They're already lacking damage.
Yeah.
So I think running two warriors would be very bad idea for them. Whereas Team Liquid, I can actually see potential. Zagara as their main range damage, though, would be a bit risky. So if they did pick a warrior, I'd say someone like Arthas, who can actually hold his own and be very aggressive in a team fight.
Yeah, Muradin's still available as well, I guess.
Yeah, he'd be good. Stack up his stuns. Counter Abathur's pushing that way by able to, if he takes the Stormbolt build, basically just counter push and kill all your buildings.
I don't think there is too much of a chance we're going to see Tyrande, but not impossible. So it's going to be Vala first year, and then Sylvanas, the likely pick, but then there's still some more possibilities. Sergeant Hammer, they can steal the Nazibo, actually, from Team Liquid if they want to.
They could, if that's what Liquid do.
But then I think Liquid would just go Sylvanas and not really care that much about it.
Very true, and Roccat have the potential for that as well. They could pick up Sylvanas or Falstad. Plenty of options for them. And yeah, like I said, I don't think they would go with a second warrior here. They could bring in a melee assassin of their own. This is depending on who it would be.
Yeah. If they didn't have Abathur, I think like something like a Tyrande or a Tassadar could be likely, but when you already have an Abathur, like, I think one of these guys just seems so weird, and it's going to be almost impossible to pull off successfully. Sylvanas is picked. which makes the last pick here for Team Liquid the most likely to be Nazeebo, I think, or Falstad.
Or Falstad, pretty much guaranteed. If I had to guess, there is a potential for Double Warrior, like we said, maybe from Team Liquid, but like we said, with just Zagara, not too much. I would say maybe both Zagara and Nazeebo would be good because they both combo with the Devouring Maw with their heroics. They can get some very good damage off of that.
For Roccat here, like as much as they're going to be able to, you know, soak some extra XP on the lanes with Abathur when the tributes are coming up, fighting seems tricky. You know, they're going to have Johanna with Symbiote at the front, I guess, and then behind this, they're going to have a lot of healing with the Malfurion, and then damage really going to come from Sylvanas and Vala, with the Wailing Arrow also giving them some good fighting capability. But there doesn't seem to be much to really stop an Illidan from going nuts. And again, you know, it's going to be Black Scorp on the Illidan. It's maybe, possibly, you know, one of the very best in the world on that hero.
And there's the focus on it. We have the Rhaegar and the Tassadar.
God, that Illidan is going to be pretty much unstoppable, I feel.
Yeah, if they had Abathur as well, then this would just be obscene. But for now, it is just going to be all about protecting that Illidan and letting him do his work. And like you said, there's not too much to stop him. There's potential for a silence. There's Johanna stuns. If he could get caught in a route for like a second, and other than that, Vala, maybe Frost Shots could help out, but I wouldn't put too much reliance on it, and I think she's more likely to go with the Hungering Arrow build.
They're going to have to synchronize it really well for Anubarak to go in at the same time, or even before Illidan, so that he's the one taking the damage. But I mean, with a Rhaegar behind being able to heal them, and the Tassadar shielding the Illidan, like this is looking to be a super scary comp here for Team Liquid. And it's funny how, like, I feel like once upon a time, like, you'd at least get, no matter what, like a proper assassin, in the sense that you'd get somebody that can do a ton of damage, like consistent damage and quick damage in the fights, like, you know, a Vala, sometimes Sergeant Hammer and all that, whereas now you see Liquid really favorizing that Zagara above that. I guess they're going to have the Storm as well to work with from the Tassadar, which Oracle is pretty good on this map, you know, to set up fights properly. And we've seen in the previous game, like Team Liquid, I really didn't think that had that much vision to work with, but somehow they always took good fights from the very start and were able to do well with them.
Yeah, and they did have the creep tumors as well, which were giving them.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I kind of saw that.
But the counter for that was Roccat did do very well with their vision as well. The Owl build, as interesting as we found it, did provide them with basically constant vision of Team Liquid.
Yeah, the Owl build, man. It's old school.
It's very old school. It didn't really do much other than vision, but that's all it's really for. It would make more sense on this map, just because you can deny tributes with it.
Yeah. It's funny how, like, Team Liquid, they ended up on the Rhaegar, and like it feels like almost as if, you know, they stole it from Roccat. But then Roccat, they're on the Malfurion, which Team Liquid are very good as well. So like, you can tell that in this draft, they not only try to pick what's good for themselves, but they also try to steal away what they thought the opposite team was good with. And in this case, I feel like Roccat, they did a pretty good job with preventing Vortex from getting on either Abathur or Vikings. But in the end, it's still a very solid draft here from both teams.
Yep, it's very solid from both teams. It would be interesting to see how these go. I'm very interested to see what Abathur does. If I had to guess, it would be a backdoor build. But for now, we have loaded into the Curse Hollow. So ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side, 1-0 up, it's the blue team, Team Liquid. And playing the Tassadar, we have Vortex. Playing the Anubarak, it is going to be Lucifron. The Illidan, being played by the mighty Black Scorp. Healing him today will be Grandpa Cutter on the Rhaegar, and on the Zagara, it is going to be Falcon. And on the right-hand side, it is the blue team of Team Roccat. And playing the Malfurion, we have Sport Billy. Playing the Johanna, it's going to be Soke. The Sylvanas, being played by Chris. Vala is being played by Shadowmare, and the Abathur is being played by Hasuops.
And not a backdoor build, pressurized glance here from Abathur, so...
He wants the teamfight, he's just going to be sitting on Johanna, if I had to guess.
That Johanna is, for once, she's not just going to be tanking a lot.
Yeah, going to be doing quite a lot. She's not going to be tanking a lot, she's going to be tanking everything, and still actually doing some damage. Other than that, we're not really seeing any abilities too much. Oh, yes, we are. Reduced cooldown on Shadow Dagger on Sylvanas.
Okay.
Lost Soul, reduced the cooldown by 2 seconds. It's nice once you hit level 16 because you basically get almost constant vulnerable for the entire team.
But like, what's the plan? Escape Illidan?
Maybe just like vulnerable him over and over again until he falls down. It's interesting. It's also the fact that it's a on-target cast ability that goes through Illidan's evasion. So that's pretty nice for like the early laning. Just harass him over and over again with it, and we'll probably see Chris doing that. Just every time it's up, just throw it out there. No, just waiting for a bit actually this time, just clearing the wave.
Yeah. Gonna be interesting also to follow what I talked about last time we saw this map in an Abathur between Gamers2 and Navi, with having an Abathur on your side. A lot of the time getting, to fight successfully for the first few tributes is gonna be really hard. I really feel like Gamers2, they outplayed Navi hard during those first few tributes. So now it's Roccat against Liquid. Supposedly, Liquid, they are the team doing better. They are the favorite here. So we'll see if Rockat's able to do as well as Gamers2, but it's going to be really tough.
Aswell was playing very close to that gate there, was making me quite worried about him basically getting hit by Liquid. But he's moved himself back just to make sure he's in a better and more easily defendable position. Liquid and Roccat both pretty much even on XP for the moment. There we go, level 4 hit by both teams almost simultaneously. And talent-wise, unless Rhaegar's taken Shadow Wolf, most of the stuff's fairly standard. We have the mental acuity from the Tassadar for that extra vision. Shadowmere, with the help of Abathur, eventually able to help clear out that.
It's interesting that they did that before first tribute. That means he's going to be pushing at the bottom here, while they're buying time / fighting at the top for the first tribute. So, and the Hazuops could even soak extra, but actually soaking at the bottom when there is crit tumors there is going to be pretty tricky for Hazu, because he's going to be revealed, could get jumped on. I think they're just going to let the first tribute go. And I don't even think that Sylvanas can stop it.
No, and
even one time.
She doesn't look like she wants to. They're just going to give that one over and just continue to soak.
But Johanna is doing the hard camp, so very good dynamic already being set up. I kind of wish they would have used that though to, that siege camp at the bottom to at the same time go and fight for the tribute, because it would have been really hard for Team Liquid to handle. But Roccat here, they chose not to.
Yeah, instead just choosing to try and push it, and then actually getting that much push out of it due to a Nubrax Beetles keep stopping them from moving. There's a bit of a raid from Liquid onto it. They steal the Bruiser camp. Soke is taking half health worth of damage. Backscott though not going to chase him into his own buildings.
Already Liquid with some very good decision making here on this map. I'm getting a little bit worried here already for Roccat, to be honest, because the way the first tribute went, I think there is a very good chance they're going to let the second one go, and they're going to have to fight for the third one. But then since they're already falling behind on experience, it's going to be super hard for them to somehow make this work.
Yeah, they have an Abathur and haven't been fighting for tributes, and Liquid are still ahead on XP. And that is not a good situation to be in. Like we said, level 7's being reached by Liquid far before the team of Roccat. They are just about to get them now, just in time for this tribute if they do want to fight it. And there are a couple of them around. Shadowmere takes a little bit of damage. Soka not near enough though. There we go, Abathur poke will be enough to cancel that tribute channel for now. Lucifron getting chased away. But just going to come around and rejoin his team. Shadowmere actually being focused down by the Beetles here is having to now kite Lucifron in the background. Soka is fighting Grand Paqueta with the help of Sportsbilly up there. And once again, they managed to deny the tribute. Lucifron going quite low. He does get out barely. Wow. And the tribute fight will continue up here.
That was close. I think from these points, Roccat here, they can delay this a little bit more. Soka taking a little bit of damage. That was probably the last time. So that's going to be a second tribute here, most likely for Liquid in a second. They're still ahead on experience. Not by that much. Roccat has closed the gap here quite nicely with the Abathur soaking and Sylvanas staying top the whole time, whereas Illidan left for a little bit of time here.
Yeah, they've been able to bring themselves back into it just a little bit. We can see XP-wise that Abathur isn't actually giving them that much. Most XP currently being gained by Sylvanas, who's been top lane only all game.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Look at this, almost level 9 here for Team Liquid. Black Squall doing the dance at top, can't really engage against a Sylvanas like this just yet. Falcon, wow. Some long distance.
Yeah, tanking over the wall, just letting Grand Paqueta tank everything as opposed to letting his Hunter Killer tank a little bit if he attacks from this side. But this does let him get back to bot lane a little quicker.
So the pressure is going to be on here for that next tribute, because if Liquid gets it, that's a curse. So Roccat, they're going to have to go there no matter what to try and delay it, maybe even fight for it. Rhaegar went home to heal. both teams know that this is coming up. This is going to be very important moment here in this game. The next tribute. Black Scorp cannot get caught before this comes up, otherwise Liquid will be in trouble. He gets away, and I don't think he can tap. Seems like he's on cooldown for 14 seconds, but at least he's going to be able to before the next tribute comes up.
Yep, should be fine and prepared for that. Soccer coming in, just starting to help.
He's very far out, actually.
He is, but he does have his trait up.
Going to take a bit of damage. He needs to be able to tap before you want to start that fight with full hit points.
Black Scorp was able to tap, but is now taking a bit more harassment, going very aggressive here. He has no reinforcements for this, just trying to like bait out that he has friends in this area.
He's keeping 2 guys at top, so
yeah.
Liquid, they're very likely to get a curse here, especially if they catch someone and kill him here, like Soccer. Soccer's pulling back.
Gets a heal from Malfurion.
Oh, Zagara is a little bit behind.
Yeah, Zagara should get here in time though. Her and Tassadar both currently in the mid lane. Just clearing that before they try to help with this. Now then someone needs to deny that. Lucifer looks like he's in the right position. Should be able to get it. Illidan having to use his Metamorphosis just for escape there. But that does mean they do still have all 5 members ready for this fight if they need to. Tassadar's not yet joined the fight, he's just continuing to clear mid.
Yeah, Abathur is actually soaking mid right now, maybe even on another lane with the symbiote. Lucifron gets caught, and Liquid, are they gonna, oh no, they're still buying time. I was wondering for a second, he might just give this one away, but they can still buy quite a bit of time, especially with the Tassadar here. Yeah. Illidan staying top, I think they're letting it go.
I think they are letting it go, they were trying to just deny it as long as possible.
He impaled again.
Oh, he denied it again?
Yeah, the balance impale and then storm from Tassadar bought him so much time. Look at this again.
And it's just in time, but Sport Billy is still doing it. There's the impale, and they're still keeping this up, and Illidan is still so.
With Johanna being so low, they can actually go in if Illidan was to rejoin them, but they're still buying time.
They're just well, the longer they do this, they still are getting XP. Zagara still soaking the bot lane. Black Scorp was soaking the top lane.
They're soaking on 3 lanes and slowing down the tribute here against an Abathur.
They're going to get a Ford out of this. It looks like are they finally giving it up? No, an Uberak's coming in, and there's the impale again.
Liquid are so good.
Yeah, they're just getting so much XP for this. Illidan in this area now. Looks like he may want to join Chris. Trying to give it a tribute in the background.
Yeah,
I think Liquid may finally be done. Tassadar is at the angle that he could maybe try and stop it, but he'd have to dive very hard.
They are finally going to let it go. I think ideally Liquid, they want to be on level 13 here to try and fight for the next one. And look at this Ford taking so much damage. Falcon fully knowing that he's probably going to get chased or hunted, goes home exactly on time.
That seems like an unnecessary blessed shield, and Falcon will just get out.
I don't think Soccer realized how far Shadowmere was here. Liquid trying to steal the boss, fully knowing that there was a big rotation happening at the bottom from Roccat. They might be able to finish it before Roccat can realize what's happening and come back, which would be huge here.
We do see the stun going down onto an Uberak. Vortex is here to help, though. Chris has seen all this, so they are rumbled. Sportbelly coming in, throws down the root. And Liquid going on to Chris instead, just ditching the boss, and they get the kill. And the boss is still
the wailing arrow was used for nothing.
And the boss is going down, but Roccat are now here, going to try and take
Zagara
this.
is late.
Boss goes down, Zagara is very late. Ancestral Healing does land on no one, basically. The fight continues in this pit. Hasselhoff is holding back the boss, but he gets pushed out. Their boss goes over to Liquid, and Roccat are falling down. Soccer is getting picked up, and Sportbilly goes down. Full team wipe by Liquid, and they get the boss. Wow, good luck.
Oh, Abathur, you need to be careful, man. If you're spotted, you're going to get killed. Zagara was late, but she did get there eventually, and with the snipe early on the Sylvanas and the wailing arrow used uselessly, that was always going to be a fight won here by Team Liquid. I think Roccat, they should have just let it go instead of trying to fight for that boss. Now they got wiped, the boss got stolen, and that's going to be a curse as well, which happens at the bottom, and Team Liquid even getting their own boss here in the meantime.
Wow, they're just doing everything at the moment. Boss is still pushing top, grabbing a boss for bot, and like you said, with a curse. What can Roccat do about this? They're just getting a hit from every single angle.
It's going to be really tough. This boss still got a third of its hit points against the towers that are not even shooting here right now. Malfurion
does have bonus damage on his Moonfire, which is being used against the Golem here. Dealing 300 damage per Moonfire to this is actually pretty nice, but it still takes down the gate and gets a good hit on the towers. In the meantime, Liquid are actually diving this, going to try and take down Shadowmere. Black Scorp going super aggressively here. He does get rid, but Black Scorp does get the kill there and is able to dash out because Illidan.
That level 1 talent.
He's going in again.
Coming in handy quite yet. Yeah, with one hero already down, this is a 5 against 4. Liquid are going to get in there.
There's the metamorphosis onto Soke. Abafa is on her head, and there's the silence. Illidan getting dropped low, gets Ancestral Helix. He will survive, but so will Soke. There's the Web Blast being used onto someone who is in that. Looks like Johanna? No, it's not Johanna. It is Malfurion who is in there, and that's not a good target. He's going to get wiped very quickly. No, he's pulled into the Maw. Will keep him alive for a sec. Socket once again having to run back to Fountain. Liquid is just fighting underneath the core here. There's the Rain of Vengeance. Catches a lot of members of Liquid. Illidan dives over the core and is just trying to focus it down while they buy time. But down goes Zagara.
Yeah, the boss is going to town on the core.
The boss is there too, and they are just pushing this forward. Lucifer goes down. Blackscorp getting dropped very low. He goes down as well. Vortex is a pretty much full health, though. He dimensional shifts to heal himself up, finds Hasselhoffs, and is still going to try and do the damage. Boss is getting killed off, and I don't think they can do it. Boss is dropped low. Vortex goes down, and the boss is finished off as well. And that is a full Liquid team wipe, and there is nothing Roccat can do after it.
Yeah. I mean, even though they held on here, Roccat, it's still... Like, there's still basically all the forts of Liquid. They'd have to go through a lot of buildings to finally start on doing damage. And the thing is, Abathur doesn't have Mule. If at least he had Mule,
then he could repair the core,
but now he can't.
Just has to leave it with the shield at 24%. And that's Zagara territory right there. She could roll in and just start doing that kind of damage with the help of Illidan.
It's going to be really tough here for Roccat. As much as, you know, they held on for now, they basically need to win every single fight, and super convincingly from now to be able to win. And we've seen how difficult that can be against a team as solid as Team Liquid.
Yep, who are now all alive again. But Roccat have got themselves in a situation where they are at least on the same talent as Team Liquid. As opposed to that last fight, they were actually a talent behind for all of it. Vortex just poking here, trying to stop his fort going down.
Oh, they're going to go for the fight.
Lucifer.
It's 4 against 4 here at the bottom.
Yeah,
Illidan is trying to rejoin this. He's at the top right now.
He's miles away, though, and Abathur is here with this Roccat squad. But doesn't look like they want to fight. They realize that Illidan is on the way, but Liquid just want to fight this because they know if they get a couple kills, they can probably just end the game. And we do actually have the Shadow Dagger coming in. Sorry, the Cold's Embrace coming in.
Illidan's close enough that they're going to go for this.
They need the engage. Who are they going to engage with? Hasselhoffs copies the Johanna. Double Johanna coming in. That's a lot of damage. But Illidan comes in. He gets Rain of Vengeance. He is able to dash away, though, so far. No one dead. Vortex having to dimensional shift to get out. Icebot coming in from Malfurion keeps him alive. Chris throws out the Wailing Arrow, and unfortunately, Prescience will save Vortex, even though he was silenced. And Zagara getting dropped very low in the background by the Abathur clone. Illidan has already taken down Valor, though. He's going on to Chris as well. And there's the shield from the Malfurion. Is not enough to finish him off. And
Illidan was neglected.
So he's just in the back line, and you can't leave him there. He's gonna finally... No, he gets the heal last second. He's going on the mouth, and that is the kill. And Liquid will push in for the win. So well played by them. And there's the GG, well played. And they're just gonna run in and finish off this core. Super well played. The Abathur, only one left alive. Nothing he could do about it. And yeah, down goes the core. GG's from every player. And we actually get to see a reaction shot of Liquid, and they love it. Crowd loves it. GG. And Liquid taking the 2-0 victory over Team Roccat, and that was a bit more convincing than the first game.
Really well done, some very good decision making. 10 kills to 5 in the end, but it didn't even seem that close.
And those 5 were all at that core
dive. The one time that they all died, they died together as a team across the map to bring the core down to 24%.
We ride together, we die together, and then we come back and kill you all again.
Let's not bring codes from these movies.
But no, Liquid
one last
showing, but no, Liquid showing just incredible dominance in that game. They were completely prepared to come into this. They, like we said, looking maybe a bit wobbly before coming here, but they've brought some cool stuff and have brought their A game. And we now have a winner's interview. Take it away, Smix.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Vortex. What a dominant series from Team Liquid. Every time I watch you guys play it, it's always so impressive. And what's more impressive than ever is the fact that you guys are so consistent. How are you guys able to maintain that sort of consistency?
I don't know. We just play our best all the time, and it's, I don't know. We have very good teamwork, and everything works fine all the time.
Well, obviously you guys had a great start to the day. Your next opponent is going to be Gamers 2, and you guys have a really good track record against them. And that being said, when I spoke to them earlier, they said they're more confident this time with the addition of their new players. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, they made changes to their team, so it might be positive for them, but we are confident that we can win if we play our best, so I don't know. We will see what happens.
All right, and Vortex, the last time I spoke to you in Valencia, it was 1 year ago when you were still playing StarCraft 2, and I remember at that time, you did very well, but I believe you made it just short of the top 8, and this time, you're in Valencia one more time in your home country, and you have a chance to do well and become a champion here. So what would that mean to you?
That would mean a lot to me. I wish I could have done it in StarCraft 2 last year, but I wasn't that good at the game, I guess, so... I was, but Koreans are just so good on StarCraft, so I don't know. I hope this time it will be better here.
All right, well, congratulations again on your victory. Best of luck in your next match. Guys, we are going to go to a short commercial break, but when we come back, we will have our first match at the lower bracket, so stay tuned.
Turtle Beach Heroes of the Storm PC gaming headset. Designed for all your audio needs. Powerful speakers. Comfortable design. Swappable speaker plates. Heroes of the Storm PC gaming headset. Turtle Beach. Change your game.